So, greetings everyone. This video is going to be about your name as a frequency and what happens when you use a nickname or your name changes.
Greetings! This infinite source truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now.
So you have your birth name that appears on your birth certificate. And that name is the name that is your soul contract. That one, the name that was assigned to you whenever you entered this experience through your source player mother's matrix womb. So now what happens when you have a change of name, either by marriage or by nickname, as opposed to the one that you had, or you have a legal name change? Many things can be happening here. I suggest that all source players go by their birth name, especially your first name. Whatever was given to you at birth as your first name should be what you use to identify yourself, if and when you identify yourself. Nicknames are never beneficial because, you see, your original name is the one that your soul contract is linked to. It is the letter, name, frequency of you. It's attached to that date that you were born. The alignment of all the stars and planets, the energies present at the time that you were born, in the very place that you were born. And it affects you in all your frequency dimensional planes, as well as your timeline that name is assigned to, that script, that soul contract. Now, a woman getting married, whenever you change your name, you change your frequency. And your body is a frequency match to that original name that's on your soul contract, your birth certificate. Yes, you can clear all attachments to it on all dimensions and realms and timelines to that name that was given to you on your birth certificate, but it is still your frequency, your given frequency, and your act to play on this world stage. You will be sticking with that script unless you raise your frequency enough to change your script around. Now, how does this affect your experiences within this life? You see, your name is a vibrational frequency that causes everything within your script to come into your life at the certain times that they come into your life. Yes, astrology plays into this in a very big way until you raise your frequency enough to unlock your script and intentionally unlock your script. You need to not just let it be unlocked. You need to have it unlocked with intent. Because there is a big difference between a script that gets unlocked because of raising your frequency and one that's unlocked with intent. And the difference is that if you unlock it with intent, then the law of attraction for good things at the higher frequency level will be enacted for you. And if you don't unlock it with intent and you accidentally unlock that script, then you will bring the negative things to you without bringing the positive things that come with the law of attraction. Now, what happens when you have a legal name change? In many cases, it was in your soul contract to have that change made. I'm going to be doing some explanations as to how your scripts work and choices that you do have within this illusionary dream world state that are still part of your script. And you have a couple of doors that you can choose, A and B. And there are some things about this scripts that have some choices in them, but they are still scripted choices. You never escape them unless you know that it is a script and you raise your frequency intentionally and unlock your script and start changing your script for yourself. Now, there are a lot of countries and locations that a woman does not take her husband's last name to be part of her name. They simply live together as partners, and they don't even get a marriage license. And I would say that that's the best thing to do, especially now. I would say don't ever get a piece of paper through a court system, ever, for any license, which is giving you permission to live together. It's all an illusion anyway. But no need to feed the system. And if you're not with someone who understands that or gets that, then that relationship might be short-term anyway. So you don't need the paper involved to then have to undo at a very costly price. So whenever you tack on another last name or change your name from your birth name, it could cause a frequency shift and draw different things into your life because your name is a frequency. It really is. And your name has an effect on your experience within this matrix. Getting into what the frequencies mean and the names, it's all very individualized, and why numbers would have a different effect on different people. And this is why numerology and numbers, people see synchronicities in numbers. Those numbers don't mean what you think they mean, and they apply differently to each individual that sees them, because your name is a frequency. It's a number. And if you take that number and another person's number who's standing next to you, and you both see the same synchronicity in a number, it's going to affect each one of you individually, uniquely, based on your particular number. In other words, if mine is a 5 and the person next to me is a 7, and we see the number 1, 2, 3, if we add them together, we're not going to come up with the same base number. It's going to be different. So those numbers interact with you differently. And you can't take a boilerplate and apply it to this matrix. It doesn't work like that. And that's something that you have to learn on your own. And that's another reason why business names and your name, if you have a name of a business and it is not a frequency match to the owners of the business, and there is a conflict in the frequencies of the names, then that business can have a rough go in this illusionary 3D matrix dream state. Not to say that it can't be overridden if you raise your frequency high enough and push through that, but it can be challenging to start, and many businesses fail for lack of knowledge on the parts of the source players who are involved. And if you're involved in a business venture with a soulless one, well, not the best decision, but actually the best decision is to be in business alone and not really be involved with anyone else, because you will be more successful if it's based on you and your frequency alone. So what happens whenever you have name changes? Frequencies are the key, and you have to compare the two names and the frequencies on the two names. Sometimes it'll be a beneficial name change. Other times it won't be a beneficial name change, and it's a different chapter in your life. You know, you have a script and you have scenes and acts, and books have chapters. Well, our lives are pretty much the same way. Whenever you have a name change, well, it's a different chapter, it's a different act, it's a different part of the mini-series. Again, you know all of this deep down inside, because that's who you are, your source. You know all of this. It's hidden deep inside of you. You just haven't raised your frequency enough to get that good connection so that you can unlock that knowledge that dwells so deep within you and have a connection to your source self. Hope that helps you and you find that beneficial. And now is everything that I have shared here with regarding names and frequencies, infinite source truth only, and not what I think or believe. And that is a yes from my program Pendulum. You need to check for yourself. And anything that you want to know about your name and your frequency and stuff, get a good connection to your source self and you'll be able to sort it out for yourself. Consider being a supporter of this channel as you unlock so much more for yourself that you can unlock no other way. And abundance, health, and prosperity to you.